bullshit. It's time to lay it down on the line. It's time to cut the bullshit in half and stop wasting time. It's time to kick ass. It's time to bend it over the sink. It's time to break it down, downtown and stop wasting time. Ooh, you're a mean motherfucker, gonna eat your daddy's pussy tonight.
Oh, yeah! Snack with the best of them when you snack with Snackster's Snack Packs.
Right into an ad.
Yeah, baby, we're opening up with an ad. Snackster Snack Packs are the snack packs that you can buy anytime, anywhere, for just a few dollars. You're going to get your crispy snacks, you're going to get your vegetable snacks and your fruit snacks, and it's divided into little compartments. One for crispy snacks, one for vegetable snacks, and one for fruit snacks. So the three power snacks, they call them. Snackster says your three power snacks, your three power circles that you want to intersect are your crunchy crispy, your vegetable greens, and your sweet fruits.
What happens when you do it right in the center, when all three of them?
Oh boy, that's a power blast off. And you know, you'll feel in your body, you'll feel your muscles getting toned up. Folks, welcome to QRZR, the Razor's Edge, broadcasting live from beautiful Bristleburg, USA. My name's Buzz Thunderknuckle, and with me as always, my partner on the radio and in life, Miguelito.
Hey, ¿qué pasa?
Hey.
¿Qué pasa?
My pasa.
What's going on, buddy?
Not much. Got a curiosity today.
Oh, yeah?
Brought in. Found this in the fridge. I think it used to be a hot dog. I don't know how long it was in there.
Hold on, I heard that on the table.
Yeah. I don't know if you folks at home can hear this. That's the hot dog that was found in my fridge. I'll tap it on the microphone.
I don't know. That could be
anything.
Yeah.
No, you really want to hear it on the.
Yeah.
That's the sound of a hot dog.
The sound of a hot dog.
That's
not a hot dog.
I think it's
anymore.
been there for about a year.
That's not a hot dog anymore.
And it's shriveled up. But look, it's still got that beautiful little hot dog shape.
It does. It's tiny, too. Did it
little,
shrink, or was it always that size?
No, it was a normal-sized hot dog. Now it's about, if you can't see it, folks, it's about 2.5 inches long.
That is wild.
Maybe a third of an inch wide in diameter.
It's got a hexagon shape to it.
Hexagon shape. It's got them perfect little buttholes on each end that you want in a hot dog. Yeah.
That is a fossilized hot dog.
That's a curiosity. I'm going to drill a little hole on one end and make a necklace out of it.
I think you've got the beginning of a museum here.
Yeah, a museum of shrunken things.
Shrunken old things. I just want to start this one off, too, just so everybody that's listening, because we have a viewer.
Oh, nice.
Give us a call, please. Come and tell us everything about yourself, because we want to hear it.
Our number is 312.
You have to do it. Please do it.
Yeah, mandatory call-in period starts now.
Call in if you can hear this.
Otherwise, you might get purged. The number is 312-313-0582. Whoa, what a week it's been. Still trying to get my landlord, Dick Dumpling, to come in here and fix the problems with the water so that Miguelito can wash his sores out. But
yeah, I think they're scabbing back over. I think we're all right for at least a few more months.
Okay, good. You know,
it's a cycle. You know,
yeah.
They open up, they bloom,
yeah, they weep,
and then
they scab over.
Back up, and then,
that's beautiful.
Next season, we'll have to deal with it. But.
Yeah, so it's not that much of a problem now, but it's still kind of pissing me off. I stopped by the other day just to look in the windows for about 8 hours.
Wow.
We were recording here, and I'd walk through the building and just see him peeping in through the windows. But every time I called him, he said he was too busy with his rockabilly band.
We were practicing
to come over.
We were practicing.
Yeah. And then another time I texted him. I said, "Hey, can you come over and work on that water now?" And the text he sent back just said, "Can't come by, poisoned."
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's a true story.
Do you think he got poisoned?
No.
So you consider him a straight liar.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's a bold thing for me to say because Bristleburg has one of the highest poisoning incidents in the world. Statistically,
Number one.
every member of Bristleburg has been poisoned 3 to 4 times.
The only place with 100% poison rate. 100%.
400% poison rate.
3 to 400%.
Yeah, 3 to 400% poison rate.
Guys, I think we can get it to 4.
I mean, obviously, I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot, and I'm not a mathlete. But there's people out there who've been poisoned 25, 30 times, like myself. And then, obviously, you're going to find some people who've only been poisoned once.
Really bringing that number up.
You might find some babies that haven't been poisoned, except for sort of your natural background poison in the environment.
The town does have a general haze
Yeah.
that does lower the life expectancy
Yeah.
a significant amount.
General Hayes creeping up on me.
Salute to General Hayes.
General Hayes marching through the streets. LBJ, why are you killing all these babies? Yeah. That'd be a good song if it was a song.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah. Agree, disagree.
Now it's good.
Yeah, it is good. We need more boing boing sounds in
I'm trying.
in our music. Whatever happened to that? You used to hear that shit all the time. I think every other Buddy Holly song had a boing sound, and it had the sound of a spring. You remember the Electric Spring Band?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Spring Rolls, that Japanese fusion group, just played Little Springs. That was good.
I missed that.
Yeah, I think
They had all the cat meows.
Peter
in there,
Tosh
too.
was in it for a while. He's not Japanese, of course, but
That's what the fusion comes from.
when Peter Tosh wants to sit in, you say, no, because you're dead. Get out of here, you ghost. But,
Good move.
you know,
Good.
it's always a good move. Deny the ghosts among us, and they'll stop coming back. Part of the reason that we have ghosts, and I believe this wholeheartedly.
You don't say anything you don't believe wholeheartedly.
Nope.
So
I believe
trust.
everything. I believe almost everything is credibility. And you can take my word for that, sir. Sir Microphone. And where do these things go? No, I think that people being too credible, no, that's not the word. Oh, people enjoying ghosts and interacting with them is what makes them come around. The unfinished business of nearly every ghost is to continue interacting with a human being. So you're just extending that.
Sounds like being dead isn't all it cracked up to be.
Nope. Much like being alive. Folks, we got a great show for you today. We have a very, very special guest, Mr. Peter Potato. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Oh, jeez, that's really nice. Thank you, Miguelito. Thank you.
Hey, no problem.
Oh, wow, it's
That's the
lovely to
little.
be here.
That's the little people in the computer.
Oh, that's very nice.
They love you.
That's very nice. I need to get some of those for my ringtone.
An applause ringtone. Everybody would think you're walking around and everybody loves you.
Well, yeah. You know, I could use some of that. I think we could all use a little bit of that.
I agree.
Maybe you could put it up on the Facebook and share it and let people.
It'd be nice if you could actually hire some people to follow you around and applaud live, because you just don't get the same feeling with that digital
Oh,
sound.
you like that live?
I like that
studio audience.
live, crisp, live, analog studio audience.
Do you think
I'll
we,
be
do you
I'll
think
be
we
first
can do
in
it?
line. If you're
Yeah.
paying, I'm jumping in line for it.
I didn't say anything about
Okay.
that.
You think we could do it? Let's all clap at the same
Sure.
time.
Here we go.
Maybe we can get a real applause.
No,
does
it
it
doesn't
fit?
sound good.
How many do you need? What's the minimum you need for a good
For
studio?
a good
applause?
studio audience,
Yeah.
It's 27.
27
Yeah.
exactly.
I think I remember hearing
Exactly,
that
27.
statistic somewhere too.
They've done
Yeah.
that.
I'll tell you, because one person,
Just keep adding one.
you're going to get a single clap. 2 people is just terribly reminiscent of a single person. 3 people, you're going to start having all the claps sort of compete with each other.
That's
Now,
what we just dealt with.
that's what you heard.
You
just
get
now.
stuck in a rhythm.
Yeah,
You get stuck in a rhythm.
4 people. What's going to happen is it's like a double date, and it's really the same as having 2 people. And that holds all the way up to 10 people, where they divide into 5 and 5. Now, once you hit 11, you start getting some differentiation, because at that point you're going to get the oddball factor. But really, at 11, really almost what always happens is you got 10 people basically clapping in unison, and then one person just trying to fill in the gaps.
Buzz, I thought you said you weren't a mathlete. You're throwing all these numbers at me. I'm spinning over here. I got nothing on.
This is just information. I'm not doing any real math with it. But
It's blown me away.
I'm just reading this off of a chart.
Oh, that's what that chart is.
Yeah, different claps, all the way up to 27.
It's covered in information, wallpapered with charts.
Yeah, no kidding.
These are little things I've found out in my journeys through life. Obviously not outside of Bristleburg, where I've never been, but just different things I've found out. These are different sort of insects you don't want to touch.
I recognize the brown one. That's that guy's got a mean stinger on him.
That's a nasty one.
Yeah.
I did spend about a year just investigating what bugs hurt the most when you touch them.
Absolutely.
In my younger days.
We're just touching bugs?
Oh, yeah.
Was this empirical evidence you were gathering?
It was experiential.
Experiential.
Yeah. And I found out, that like that little brown one. I don't have names for any of these little guys.
You just it looks like you just doodled them and then colored them in.
Yeah. I made up little names. That little brown one I called like a little asshole.
I think we could get that started.
And that one
Follow
hurts.
that one, right? Yeah.
That one hurts a
This
lot.
is a real stinger.
Yeah. Speaking of a real stinger, how about a little stinger on this bit, where we just move on. Peter, Potato, tell me a little bit about what you're doing out there in this great field the great sport we call life.
Yeah, sure thing. I think I hesitate to call myself an influencer, but I am I'm a restaurateur. I'm a culinariist. I take life by the horns. I like to taste the things that I look for experiences through taste. I'm a restaurant owner currently of a restaurant in Bristleburg by the name of Jump Jump. And
Jump.
Yeah, Jump. That's the restaurant you got to jump to get in. We set the door about 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah, it's got that little. It's got a little moat around it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I love that.
Yep. And some people I've gotten reviews. I'll always deliver to you. I got no problem delivering to you.
Well, I just need money, so they're half the equation, though.
Fair enough.
You know where that is.
But some people, I've received reviews before about some of my restaurants that they're a little too gimmicky.
Yeah.
But I just think I haven't cracked that nut yet. I just haven't found the right one yet.
Speaking of cracking the nuts, I heard a fascinating thing. You guys do a take on a coconut shrimp where they bring out a whole coconut and the server drills it there at the table.
Yep.
Takes a Phillips head screwdriver and a ball peen hammer and cracks it open, and inside what appeared to be a flawless whole coconut.
Nope, we filled it with shrimp.
Is filled with shrimp ceviche and a cold jalapeno sorbet.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
How do you get it in there?
I'm just proud of that one.
It's a take on it's literally coconut shrimp.
Coconut shrimp.
Coconut shrimp.
And on the menu, there's a comma. It's a lot clearer when you go in, you read it.
Could you imagine coming across a coconut in a tree and cracking that guy open because you're so thirsty? You've just been on this desert island, and then it's just full.
I feel like on the tree though, that shrimp would just be rotted.
Yeah, can't eat that.
You'd be surprised. Naturally, coconuts are. There is a hermetic seal in every coconut. You can put anything inside of a coconut.
And the coconut flesh, the coconut meat itself has a preservative quality. I spent about 6 years in the late 80s eating almost nothing but coconut, and my skin never looked rougher, but it was so rough that you could just pull on it. I would shave and the blade would break on my skin because I was so well preserved.
You would have liked them. About 4 restaurants ago, I had a place called Cocoa Nuts.
Cocoa Nuts.
And
Was that in Bristleburg?
That was kind of on the outskirts of Bristleburg.
Okay.
Me and my partner, we've had a lot of trouble. We've had a lot of trouble with licensing. We've had a lot of trouble with getting food license and stuff like that. We tried to get around it for a while, and so we've moved towards the outskirts of town. The health department doesn't come as far out that way. But if you ever wanted to come by Cocoa Nuts, now it's just a abandoned gas station. But back then we had.
I'd still love to come by.
Wait. So they took the restaurant, they turned it into a gas station, and then they abandoned it. Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah. It was it was a real crime of passion, that one. I just wanted to see something come through, and Sometimes an all coconut restaurant.
Watch the world burn one restaurant at a time.
Yeah, some men just want to watch the world burn one restaurant at a time. Here's a question I like to ask everyone, but I think it's really cool that you're on. I get to ask you.
Sure.
If you had to guess, how much of yourself would you say you've tasted over the years?
Well, I've curbed my nail biting habit, so that one was definitely. I would say that's about a pound, probably a year from just the nails. I mean, just coming off, ripping them right off, and then.
Yeesh.
But I don't eat hair. I don't eat.
Wait, so you bite your nails off and then you continue and you swallow them? Okay.
Do you not?
He puts them in those jars, but.
Oh I forgot about
I can save those.
your jars.
I eat the little bits at the bottom of the nail.
Well, see, that's what you done all that work.
And I always figure anything that's jammed under the nail is probably food anyway.
So you clean that off.
Oh, yeah. You got to keep it clean.
Oh, wow.
The tongue is the only thing known to man that can get under a human nail, and really clean it out.
You ever heard the statistic that a dog mouth is cleaner than a human mouth?
Untrue.
See, it blown my mind.
Yeah.
I ran a whole restaurant. We were feeding people out of dog mouths.
Yeah, how did that go?
We got shut down.
What was that place called?
That was the hand that feeds you.
Ah, nice.
And it just wasn't I mean, I listen to myself say these things now,
Yeah.
and I have hindsight about
Right,
it now,
right.
and I recognize.
Sounds like you go into things ass first often.
A lot of times I'm
like
interested in the graphic design of the menu. I'm interested in the kind of, what kind of sign we're going to put out front. I can't even come up with the recipes.
I'll tell you this. A dog's asshole is cleaner than a human mouth. Much cleaner than its mouth, than even a dog mouth. Now, that's why you ever see a dog...
Is there anything cleaner than a dog's asshole?
There's almost nothing cleaner than a dog's asshole.
Is that true?
Yeah. You ever see a dog take a shit? You notice that
Yes.
it just sort of slips right out. That's all that healthy cleansing enzymes and bacteria in the butt of the dog. Just let it slip right out. That's why our poops can be so rough, is because our butts are so unclean. And the reason is because we wipe. I've said this before. I'll say it again. We wipe away all that good, healthy enzymatic bacteria. Dogs. I don't know if you noticed. They never wipe. Never wipe. They got all those healthy enzymes, that healthy bacteria.
Is he saying you don't give it one once over before afterwards?
I stopped wiping during the Ford administration, and I never looked back. I've seen all the shit I can take.
See, I thought the smell in here were the bed sores.
Oh,
that's not the smell.
Oh yeah, a nice, healthy, unwiped asshole. There's no smell. It's like there's a smell, but it's a rich kimchi-like smell. If you ever had a good aged, maybe year-aged kimchi, yes.
Are you kidding me? Have I ever had a good year-aged
kimchi?
I had a restaurant that was
An entire restaurant.
We were exclusive kimchi. That's all we did, and it was before it was a big deal. Yeah, you might remember
kimcha.
That's it.
Yeah.
Kimchi. I didn't go.
We were behind a Barnes & Noble, but we did a lot of experimental kimchis. We were always throwing new things in there.
Were you making your own? So you're making your own kimchi. Doing it the traditional way?
Well, the thing is, if you run out of it halfway through service, you got to go buy it from a different place. You got to go buy it from another restaurant.
That's normal. That's just normal at a restaurant.
That's what they do.
But you can't. It's impossible. It is statistically impossible to have enough food on hand for just any amount of people to come in.
I wish more foodies, quote unquote foodies, knew that about restauranting.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm not a foodie. I'm not pretentious about these things. I understand how the sausage is made. I've made the sausage. I've seen it be made.
I've seen it shrink to a smaller version of the sausage.
A tiny little sausage. I've even been the sausage at a party or two.
I gotta say, it's Sausage Party. That was the name of my sausage restaurant.
Did they steal that for the movie?
And just a great movie.
It was a fantastic movie.
Such a good movie.
The thing is,
one of the best.
I have consistently found myself before the cutting edge. Yeah. We were out with that restaurant 2 years before the movie came out. I was
2 years before the movie Cutting Edge came out.
2 years before Cutting Edge.
Yeah.
It was fate, really.
That's right, because you did have so you had the restaurant Cutting Edge that came out 2 years before the movie Cutting Edge, and then you had the restaurant Sausage Party came out 2 years before the movie Sausage Party.
It's been a pattern.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if I'm a psychic. I don't really prescribe to
I
that.
think you are. I mean, I think you clearly are.
I didn't put those words in my own mouth, but I may have put them in your mind. I don't know. I feel gifted.
You didn't put it in a dog's mouth. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
That one was not the. What's the opposite of clairvoyant? I don't know. Blind, dead.
Opposite of clairvoyant.
I know Buzz can come up with this. He's a little encyclopedia man.
Not clairvoyant. We were all thinking it. I was the first to say it.
You said it slowly enough that it could.
Yeah.
No, dang, guys. I want to put you on the board in my next place because I feel like just in this room alone, I'm getting better ideas.
We've had so many good restaurant ideas. He wanted to open a pop-up.
Yeah.
That was purely the my rat juice that I make.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard about the rat juice.
You take the rat juice.
Rat wine.
And he was going to put all of this old spaghetti in it, and it was going to be called like a take on spaghetti and just pasta and spaghetti. classic spaghetti.
I get that.
Ooh.
I can see.
I got
that.
it. It's clairvoyant.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Very
That's the one.
You had it in there.
I had an idea. An idea for a restaurant that would be, we waste so much food in this country.
Yeah.
This would just be when something gets messed up at a restaurant, they would bring it next door to my restaurant, and it would get served there, and you would pay very little for it, and the restaurant would be called Oops.
Yep. We had a place called Omelette You Finish, and it was omelets.
Yeah.
You could only eat the leftover omelet of the person that was there before you.
Wow.
Well, so question: was there like an omelet, like a first omelet that we can trace all those back? Because who was so if you can only eat the omelet of the person that was there before you,
the alpha omelet is what you're talking about.
The original omelet.
It was like a sourdough starter. Yeah.
But yeah, so somebody got a fresh omelet.
Yep. That was the tester omelet, and we knew we were rolling. You couldn't shut down. It was a 24-hour restaurant.
What do you take? You take that omelet, and do you put it in a new omelet? How do you reconstitute the omelet?
Yeah, you take whatever omelet you had, you throw it in a cast iron pan. You throw in some more egg, you throw in some more ingredients.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
This
And
is
then it
like,
makes a new omelet around the whole lot. But
Yeah.
question, how do you make sure nobody finishes their omelet?
You got good food runners. And
Oh,
that's
they,
again
they,
another
they take it.
big part of restaurants.
this
most
is like
people
that
know.
900-day mole. You just keep rolling this omelet again and again. The flavor gets richer and deeper.
See, aren't you getting hungry just thinking about it?
I'm so hungry. I call eggs the 24-hour food.
There you go.
Yeah. Ooh, man. If I still had my original teeth, I could maybe crack into that baby, but I don't think so anymore. Folks, you're listening to QRZR, the Razor's Urge. I
Wait. I was going to say,
What?
Hold on. Here we go.
What were you going to say?
That's not a good buzz.
Is that...
Hold on. Let me try this one. I need a good buzz. No. I come back.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. That sounds like a shaving buzz, and what I want is like a bee buzz.
You want you want a bee?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, like that.
I thought like buzz saw. Like,
I don't know. I'd have to hear it. Let's run out the poll, see if we salute it.
let me ask the guy next door if he can send me one.
Eggs, the 24-hour food. Anyway, folks, please call in 312-313-0582. If you're just joining us or just waking up, that's a human being making that sound, and I hate it. I could do that, or I could have you do it. And you know that, and you're being lazy about it.
That's another job taken away from bees.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Yeah, what do you do? Why are you trying to kill all the bees by taking their jobs away?
You know,
Trying. I mean, if they weren't so stupid, maybe they would be able
Jesus
to
Christ.
make plenty of honey.
they have
I
so
see.
little left, and voice acting is a big part of their income at this point.
That bee movie really did them some favors.
Oh God, that's another one. I was 2 years ahead of it.
Great movie.
Yep, I was 2 years ahead of it.
Good movie. Well, yeah, what'd you have?
It was B movie.
Bee movie, the restaurant.
Yeah.
Wow, you were on the head.
I don't
Just
know what it
nailed
is.
Wow,
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
it's amazing.
I don't know if I'm just on the zeitgeist. I've got my finger on the pulse or something like that. But
I heard somebody the other day asking if you could bring your own food to a wedding, and here's what I think. I've thought this for a long time. If you could, Really the perfect food that you can bring everywhere. If it's acceptable to bring food everywhere, your own food, really that like your perfect starter food that no one can really disagree with is the banana.
Oh, I was going to say coleslaw. No, I was totally on a different page. I'm sorry. Coleslaw, yeah.
Wow, complete
But the
disagreement
banana,
there.
no, that makes sense. It comes with its own package.
Comes in its own package.
Yeah.
Not offensive. So few people offended by bananas.
And great prop gag. I mean, you could use that
great prop gag.
for any kind of joke.
Yeah, it comes in its own package and comes with its own joke.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
what more can you ask of a food?
I don't know how much when I was a kid, I don't know how much money I wasted on whoopee cushions. Thousands and thousands of dollars.
Thousands of dollars.
And
What about the rubber chicken? You ever get any of those?
rubber. We didn't have rubber chickens when I was a kid. We would use actual chicken bodies.
That's where they find their origin. Little funny foodie story here is the original rubber chicken was the skin of a chicken. It was a chicken that got skinned,
Maybe that's what this is.
got tanned.
No, that's
an old
that's
hot
definitely not a
dog.
chicken. I've seen chicken skin. But yeah,
They
some of
sewed
the-
it up. It's the same thing they made basketballs out of.
It looks like a prop.
So, there were these guys who were just really good. This was before martial arts was a big thing with the rise of your Chans and your Lees. So there were these guys. We didn't call it kung fu or whatever, but
What'd you call it?
we would call it chicken stripping, because it was one thing that these guys their hands were so fast, and what they would do is you'd see them. They would take a chicken and they would just shoot their hand out down its throat and pull the inside of the chicken out, just leaving the skin. It was amazing if you ever saw it done right, and horrifying if you saw it done wrong. Because if just a little bit too slow, it's kind of like exploding a chicken from the inside. But quick enough, and the really good guys, the really good chicken strippers, they could pull that chicken out live and just leave it. It would still be walking around with no skin on it. But yeah, then you pull the feathers off, and you just soak it in. You just
Brine.
Soak it
Put it in a brine.
You soak it in a brine, but it's a brine that has mineral oil in it.
Well, it's preserving, yeah.
Yeah,
Took way
to
too
preserve
long.
it.
It took way too long to find that.
What?
Your brain is firing at a slower pace. I can tell. What's wrong? Usually, you would have pulled that word. You would have pulled that word in the past. But something's wrong today. Hold on. I'm sorry. I need.
Sorry, I'm not. I was a counselor before I was a restaurateur.
Well,
If you
perfect. I mean, we need to talk because that was something's going on there.
I'm a little distracted today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to the people I love the most. My fans.
It was a lie of omission, really, and that's the same thing.
I've been having some foot problems.
Foot problems?
Yeah, I've been having some foot problems. You might notice I've taken to wearing open-toed shoes, and that's
You do have your toes out,
open-toed shoes.
right on the table.
Yeah,
Actually, they're in the cup, our one cup.
yeah.
You put your toes in there.
It turns out that I have ingrowing toenails, which normally happens on the side of the toenail, basically because, as you know, my skin and my nails and everything are so tough,
Very tough.
so incredibly tough.
Like a rhino.
Yeah, well, they have no longer been able to push out through the skin, and have begun growing backwards up into my foot. There's about, and I didn't realize it because, again, like I don't feel pain like a normal human being, but
You're like a superhero with
with
all the wrong
I'm
things.
like I'm a reverse foot Wolverine right now. There's about 5 to 6 inches of nail growing up on my foot. It's almost hit about to where my ankle is.
It's got to turn into bone at some point.
Well, that's what the doctor said they hope, because there's really no hope to operate because of my incredibly thick skin.
and the lack of doctors in Bristleburg.
Yeah,
In your thick blood.
yeah, but they do say
Wait, you fan-
they can't do
you
it.
Fan the
They
show?
can't do
Absolutely.
it. Yeah, they
So,
can't do.
that's late night.
Oh,
late
it's
night.
so nice to have a fan.
Absolutely.
They can't operate. They can't do precision operation. But if it does get too bad, they will have to put my foot on a highway and just let like a steamroller run over it and take the whole thing off.
They got to take it to the highway for that.
Yeah.
You can't. There's no.
They don't make any medical grade equipment strong enough to cut through my skin.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like
so
you should
sorry,
go
Buzz.
see. You should go see a construction worker, not a doctor.
Don't think I didn't say that to the doctor.
What if they take
You
a
know?
jackhammer?
What am I paying you for, sir? When I could go see America's greatest hero, the construction worker.
The construction man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go to trade school, not medical school.
Too many people, nearly 80% of this country goes to medical school, and it's wasted. The debt we're in, and what have we fixed? Not the economy, sir.
No, people are still getting sick.
No, still getting sick.
I thought the economy was completely fixed.
Not yet.
Fixed like a neutered dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fixed like a fixed game of some kind of gambling.
Yeah, like rigged
There you go.
and castrated.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Fixed like a chicken skin in mineral oil and brine.
Quickly being removed from its husk of
Is that why they use wood blocks now?
What?
That's why they use wood blocks instead of the chickens?
For...
Karate and...
Oh, I thought you meant for rubber chickens.
Oh, no. No.
Or I thought you meant to like play a little music. Because we did used to play, you ever do that thing where you strap chickens down, you divide them by the note that their squawk makes, and you can strap them down and tap them on the back and play them like a
I've seen
piano.
that on TV.
Yeah, I thought that's what you meant when you said wood blocks. But sure. What?
I just assume it was too violent that the reason that they
karate.
replaced karate, the kung fu.
I just think we got that Eastern influence came in, and they didn't have that tradition of chickens dripping. Even though, as most people probably know, the chicken originates in Southeast Asia.
That's where the chicken comes from.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I don't know if it calls it home still, but
Well, yeah, it's like once you lived in a new town for that long. I've never moved out of Bristleburg, so I couldn't tell you. But
Hold on, I got
I've-
another one. I got another one for you. How do you feel about that one?
I like it. But I can tell it's definitely less than 27 bees, so it doesn't really feel like a full crowd. I'm gonna say that was 5 bees.
you can hear a couple of them syncing up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep looking.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Well, let's try that buzzsaw if you find a nice one.
Let me look it up.
Yeah. Yeah, the reason I asked earlier how much of yourself you've tasted.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry about that. We got to get back to that.
I
made a pie once. I
Yeah.
did make a pie once.
What was it, out of yourself?
Yeah.
Were you trying to pass on a gypsy curse to somebody?
No.
Because that's the only.
Yeah, I know. That's the old yarn. You cook them. You cook
You
the
cook the
hair
pi-
into a pie.
Well,
or
yeah, you cook you put some of your blood and your hair into the
Yeah,
pie,
yeah,
and then you
yeah.
feed it to
I've eaten so many of those pies, and I
somebody
don't
you
think
hate, like your ex-wife.
I've eaten so many of those, and I don't think it works.
Well, from my family, the way we used to say is hair in a pie, toenails in a pie. Anything you find in a pie that's from someone, that's love. That's not a mistake. There's
I agree with
nothing
that.
wrong with it. And I've stressed that to the people who come to my restaurants. You find a hair in your soup, there's nothing wrong with it. It's the chef telling you that they love you. There's nothing wrong.
Hair in a pie? Give it a try.
You see, that's why I need you. That would look great on the top of a menu. Some nice font. Oh boy, yeah. See now I'm thinking about opening a Gypsy Curse restaurant.
Bit of skin. That's a savory win. A Gypsy Curse restaurant. Ooh, I like that. In today's climate, though, you're gonna want some real Romney people.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was already pretty uncomfortable with the
Yeah.
usage, but I'm always stretching out. I'm always looking for something new, and sometimes you got to test the limits to find out whether or not you're gonna.
That's
you're
a
gonna
rest.
step on somebody's
Yeah.
toes.
I mean, in this current culture, what they don't understand is a restaurateur's job is to push limits.
The limits.
To find boundaries,
Yep.
to walk on the edge, to see where the limits are, and then say, "Hey, look at those limits. I passed them about a half a mile back."
And I used to think it was just limits of what was or was not edible, what was or was not cooked. It's not. It's a social boundary.
It's a
you gotta
social
be
limits.
pushing. Yeah. So
Because not everybody, for instance, is gonna eat a chicken that was stripped live.
no.
Not everybody's gonna laugh
No.
when you hit them in the face with that chemically soaked chicken skin.
No.
You know,
No.
I'm gonna laugh because I'm gonna be the one hitting him in the face.
Sure.
But those are the limits, you know. And in all of life, yeah, we have to find these. We have to find these borders, and let's not close up these borders. People who want to say, "Hey, that's too much." No, sir. Don't tell me you're gonna build a wall on my border. That's what you're saying. You're saying let's keep out all these people with different views and different opinions, this free flow of information, finding these limits. Neil Armstrong, of course, one of America's greatest heroes who pushed...
Skeletons. One of America's greatest skeletons.
And now one of America's greatest skeletons.
He was probably one of America's greatest skeletons before he even
Yeah.
died, right?
But he pushed the
Agreed.
limits. He was known to say some really off-color stuff.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Specifically about the moon or about other people?
You ever, about both. You ever read that book, Neil Armstrong, Monster? His ex-wife wrote it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. That's a frightening thing to think about. That man is imprinted somewhere up there on the moon, and he's just like the worst.
Well, it's horrible.
What do you mean he's imprinted on the moon?
Well, when they go up there, they scan you, and they got to make sure all your...
He didn't really go to the moon.
Oh, come on.
Did he?
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
oh, yeah.
Of course he did.
I
You
don't
strap a
think
guy
so.
you strap a guy to a big explosive rocket, you're going to put him close to the moon?
Wait. Okay, so hold on. This is the guy who went to the moon. This is the moon man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neil Ingram.
So you're telling me he went up there.
Armstrong.
He went up to the moon, which I mean, God, like it even exists. But he went up there and he walked on this thing. And you're telling me he got back?
Well, some version of him, sure.
Dude, let me ask you this: if there's no moon, then why do we call Moon 2 Moon 2? There has to be a first moon, otherwise how we have Moon 2?
Look,
He's got you there, Mick.
I'm very confused because
And second of all-
you often paint other moons on the windows to confuse me. And so now I don't
Yeah, I
know.
do that.
And now it seems like there isn't a moon. It's just the paintings of moons that you've put up.
You are viewing the world as the shadows on a cave wall, and that's not my fault. I've released myself to walk
directly-
beyond the boundaries of things.
Might be directly your fault.
I'm trying to teach you about the false nature of the world, and how can I do that without lying to you? Here's the thing about the moon landing that gets people confused, and it's natural. It's absolutely natural.
Define that in this context.
What, natural?
Natural.
All natural.
It's understandable. And all natural. There's no preservatives. I'm not going to try and preserve you from the truth.
Don't preserve me from the truth,
I'm not going to
please.
preserve you from the truth. I'm going to life affirm you, not life preserve you.
It's different from organic. There's
Yeah.
a whole different FDA regulation
Yeah.
on organic.
We did go to the moon. Neil Armstrong, my namesake, Buzzy Aldrin, and Michael Collins up there rotating around the moon in his lonely, lonely pod. They did go to the moon.
The singer from REM went up to the moon.
Yeah.
Michael Collins.
Yeah, Michael Collins from REM.
his name,
Sure, why not? So we went to the moon in 1961, but it was so incredibly boring, and the American people were so disinterested.
I agree. I've seen it. It's terrible.
No, you haven't seen it because
That was the second one.
you saw the fake one that was the second one, where they used some of the pre-existing footage, because what they did was they wiped everybody's minds in the U.S. and then recreated the moon landing later on, and that sort of they couldn't do a like a clean wipe.
This is common knowledge.
common
I mean,
knowledge.
we're just treading over old.
So
things.
when you saw that sort of fake one, what everyone became suspicious. Oh, this isn't quite right. There's something in my brain that disconnects here,
Yeah.
which created the conspiracy theory that we didn't land on the moon, which generated more interest.
I have a question.
So the conspiracy
Is this real? Is this real?
the audio isn't real.
One giant leap for mankind.
The video is real.
It doesn't look real. First of all,
The video
It
is.
looks-
It's the audio. The
terrible.
audio that they had to redo.
Okay, is that true, Buzz?
But the audio, okay. The audio is not real because he doesn't believe what he's saying, but it was recorded on the moon.
It has a stark beauty all its own. It's like much of the high desert of the United States. It's,
You noticing that as you're watching that, you notice you can't see his mouth moving.
Yeah, and he doesn't
Yeah.
sound. He doesn't sound like it's a
And
stark
listen,
beauty.
listen to him comparing it
Sounds
to.
bored.
Listen to him comparing it to a place on Earth.
Yeah.
It's because he knows he's not looking at the moon.
He's not.
He wouldn't compare it. He would say it looks
But
just
we
like
absolutely,
the moon.
they
Looks
absolutely
like
landed.
sun.
Those things were said at a different time,
Mm-hmm.
and then they were re-recorded later on the moon.
The moon
All right.
landing is a place on Earth. That's right. That's what that song's talking about. Look how bored he sounds.
Out here.
Every precious minute of their 2.5 hours on the surface was programmed.
Now, what's
Rock and
weird is
soil
this was
samples.
also recorded on the moon.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
they
new-
brought him up there.
Well, all the newscasters were on the moon because we did land in '61, and by 1969, there was all kinds of structures on the moon, including News-Based Moon, which in 1973 was succeeded by News-Based Moon 2 on Moon 2. Anyway, the point is, it generated more interest in the moon landing.
I'm sorry about this
conspiracy
history
theory.
lesson. I didn't think, I just
Yeah, I
thought-
didn't think we had to talk about basic American history.
I mean,
There's so much Miguelito doesn't know about the world because, he spends all of
trapped
his time
inside. He's trapped
in here.
You give me a
staring
facsimile of the
staring
world.
at the 20 or 30 moons on the windows.
One time, I asked him what the new movies were that were out because I can't go to the movie theater, and Buzz proceeded to play me a recording of him acting the movies out, and tried to tell me that this was the movie.
I'll
I mean,
tell
it
you
was
what,
clearly,
I've seen a lot of movies. You probably had a better time.
Until about
know.
2 years
Oh,
ago,
that's fair. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Miguelito just referred to the studio as studio, and he would say things like, "Is there more than studio?" And I would say, "No, Miguelito, studio is all we have."
And then you would leave studio.
Yeah.
I mean, the studio.
I would say, I gotta die now for a while.
Yeah, he would die.
Yeah, I would. And he'd say,
I
"Wow,
would
you
weep.
came back to life."
Well, I would weep uncontrollably. for
Uncontrollably
the
until I
entire
came
time
back,
he
and
was
he's like,
gone.
"Oh, you're back," and I would say, "Yeah, studio brought me back."
It's a simpler. That's a simpler life.
That was a simpler time. Now
It's
he
hard-
knows.
it's
now
hard.
he knows what's out there, but he can't get out.
I don't know what's real. I know some of it's real, but I gotta say, it's hard to relearn after you've been told that studio is all there is. But then your brain, it's an amazing thing. It relearns it.
Well, and those moons are on the windows to protect you.
Yeah.
I put the same thing. I have 5 kids. I put the same moons on my windows to make sure they don't
5 beautiful kids.
5 beautiful
Wow,
kids.
what are their names?
Oh boy, you put me on the spot here about
What are you
this
on this?
one.
I'm sorry. No,
No, it's
I
all
didn't
right,
mean
it's
to
all
put
right.
you
I
on the
should
spot
know.
to say
Hope
the
your
name of your
wife's
kid.
not listening.
Yeah, she's not. I can guarantee it.
Boy.
Not her. No, I'll let me open up my wallet. Let me see.
Yeah. Oh, whoa! Beautiful, beautiful pictures. Looks like you got. I don't even want to guess at the genders here, but I want to say 3 girls and 2 boys.
That's right.
Right. Nice. Nailed it.
Here's the
I'm really good at
Here's-
guessing people's genders and telling them what their genders should be.
Here's the sad reality. I'm gonna level with you guys for a second. I think
Yeah.
we're all getting pretty honest here.
Please.
The sad reality is, as a restaurateur, as
don't
a
see your kid.
tastemaker, you don't see your family a lot. There's a lot of late nights. There's a lot of early mornings. I was not there for them enough. These pictures.
Late nights and early mornings.
Yeah. Sometimes you sleep
When
in
do
the
you sleep?
restaurant. Sometimes you don't sleep. Sometimes you just
It's not good for you.
power through.
I tried staying up for 3 months once. It's hard.
But it's a passion.
Yeah.
It's a passion project. and-
Speaking of scheduling, keeping track of things, ladies and other people who have menstrual flows, Michael, new from the Open AI Foundation. Michael is the automatic assistant that helps you to track your period and your cycle. It's been fed on thousands of millions of petaflops of period information fed to it by the computers inside of every Nuva ring and copper IUD implanted inside of women for the last 20 years. And then it tailors its personal information to your flow of information when you purchase it and you tell it all of your secrets. If you want to know how your period's going, simply say the words, "Michael, tell me about my body," and this wonderful machine will tell you when your period's going to start, when it's going to stop, and the safe times to have sex if you want to do natural family planning. Michael.
Wow.
Could have used that in my house.
Yeah, that wasn't a spot. This is an app he's developing. He's got a lot of.
Sounds great. I'll push it at my restaurants.
He's got a lot of.
It would
data.
look good on a menu.
I'll tell you. They say Google's got a lot of data, but you know who's got a lot of data? Mr. Thunderknuckle over here.
I've been collecting.
How long is your
a lot
mailing list? You got a long mailing list here?
I
I do it through a website that I mail out when I open a new restaurant.
If you came in, you'll see. Well, I don't know if you noticed going down the hallway, and you couldn't see into the basement, but just those stacks and stacks of yellow pages and white pages. I would tell friends as when they traveled around the country, because I've never been out of Bristleburg, but I would ask anyone I knew leaving to just bring back as many white pages and yellow pages as they could over about the last 40 years. So I got all that information.
He would hand transfer it over to his data book. He
I
calls
gotta
it.
say, it's dangerous out there. I was worried one of those stacks was gonna fall over on me. You know?
Oh yeah, don't mess with the stacks, brother.
Yeah,
Oh, those things are terrifying.
you might get crushed.
Yeah,
They are.
no kidding.
Yeah, you're gonna end up like one of the Larimore brothers. Yeah, it's deadly out there in the stacks. It's hard out there in the stacks. I wouldn't. I haven't been down to the basement in a long time. But
Is it still flooding? I remember it was flooding for a while.
probably it's
don't know.
it's
I
hard to
don't
say because it's all getting absorbed. My assumption is it is. It's stacked nearly to the ceiling with yellow and white pages, and my assumption is that it's flooding because the level of the white pages has begun to drop, and I take that to mean that the bottom few feet have soaked up enough water that they're beginning to decompose.
Yeah, well, but the dogs are still running the electricity, so they're not drowning yet.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well,
That's
they're
all
not-
I care about.
They're not in the basement.
Oh, they're not.
They up on the roof now?
We got them in the walls. Yeah, they were making Miguelito and some of our guests cry a little bit whenever they saw them.
Yeah, gotta get rid of those.
Allergies or just from emotional upset?
Well,
Hard to say. I didn't specifically ask, but yeah, they are. I mean, they've been in the walls in the basement so long that they do have a they're kind of like an almost translucent pink albino dogs.
and if you let any light in there, they
Yeah.
squeal in agony.
I bet they sizzle.
Yeah, they don't like light
No, I
anymore.
bet
They do not care for light.
I'm not afraid
Well,
that
that's a
they're
shame.
not be dogs.
That's a shame.
Yeah, they might not be dogs at this point.
At this point, I don't think they are.
I don't know what they bred with in there. They could have been breeding with some sort of naked mole rat or I don't even know what, a worm.
Ghosts.
Some kind of creature.
Yeah,
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, they could be ghost dogs.
Yeah. No.
I like that movie.
Oh, can I pitch? Can I do a pitch?
Yeah, do it.
Great.
I love it.
Ghost dogs kind of tipped me off. So I had this idea a while ago.
Whoa, wait,
and-
you got a new restaurant coming out?
Yeah, I think so.
Breaking news.
Oh, good. Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. I bet a lot of your listeners use a streaming service, use a website, something like that to get their information. I wanted to.
Not enough.
Well, sure. I mean, it's never enough. That's why I keep open restaurants. But I wanted to make some kind of system where we could deliver food directly to the home. And I thought we could maybe do it via dog. We could do some kind of dog delivery.
Dog delivery. That would be cute too.
You know, just strap the.
So you're comfortable with serving dog?
No. The dogs wouldn't deliver the dog meat. The humans would deliver the dog meat.
I mean, but who better to deliver dog meat than a dog?
Dog eat dog.
If you made them
could be
so
the
that
name of the place.
they live just long enough to make it to a house and fall over. That's
See, that's not a bad idea.
yeah.
See, that's not a bad
Meal
idea.
delivered straight to your door,
Fresh.
fresh.
You get it to hold an apple in its mouth the whole way.
But what
Damn,
was your
Well,
great
no,
idea?
I just thought we could strap some grocery bags to a dog and send it on its way. And
Oh yeah.
you drop your dog off. You drop your dog off at the restaurant.
To do work.
Well, no, just you order from the restaurant.
Yeah.
You bring your dog.
And he'd bring you back a
and
doggy
you
bag.
bring you back your dog. Yeah, it just gets. We put the food on the dog. The dog comes back home.
I like it. Putting dogs to work.
Yeah,
dogs are lazy.
Doggy bags.
Yeah, I just.
Is that what it's called? Doggy bags?
Well, I was gonna call it doggy dog, but doggy bags is probably better.
I don't know that it's better.
It makes more
different.
sense. Dog eat dog sounds like a place where we're feeding dogs to dogs.
Yeah, that sounds like another one where you're eating dogs.
Yeah.
Or some sort of dog fighting underground.
But honestly, people
Casino.
will eat anywhere.
That's the thing. I think
Yeah.
mostly people just want to eat. People got to eat 3-4 times a day, and that's that's
Too,
why.
and it's too often.
Yeah.
It's far too often. You
Uh,
want to be a billionaire? Cut that down to 2. Even.
You got to save money. You got to save
you
money.
gotta save money. Most billionaires are billionaires because they eat 1 or 2 times a day.
I believe it.
And it's usually something like saltines with a little bit of grape jelly on it.
Well, and they only have a couple of pairs of pants.
Yeah.
I
You
read
know
that in the
where-
highlights article.
Yeah. I get a subscription to Forbes. I get those in my email.
Bill Gates, I saw this on the Netflix documentary the other day, literally has never owned a pair of pants. He leases.
You never see him from the waist down.
Yeah.
That's true.
You never see, so you can't see, because he has to leave the leasing tags on it.
It's always a big tag.
Yeah, there's a huge tag. He's
comedic
wearing
tag.
pants, but he doesn't want to show off the tag.
I didn't learn that. I learned that too late. That if you leave the tags on, you can return anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
I learned that way too late. All this stuff I bought.
Wish I'd left the tags on my ex-wife. Nah, I never been married, but I mean, that's a
It's a
classic
shame.
joke.
It's a real pleasure.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should get
Oh.
yourself out there.
never any kids either.
You've been
want one
proposed.
of mine?
You've been proposed to though a couple times.
Doctor says I hurt my squirt many years ago. His words. Probably can't make babies.
You said he was pretty rough with your balls anyway, so I don't know. I don't know if it's the chicken or
Well,
the egg
yeah,
at this point.
I mean, I asked him to.
yeah, I just feel like he's been not doing you any favors. In
The
that
problem
department.
is, again, because I have that thick skin, he'd get down there and he'd be doing stuff with my balls. And I'd say, could you be much, much rougher with it? Because I can't feel you, and it creeps me out. You know what I mean? I don't know. It creeps me out. Like, imagine, obviously I don't love to be in pain, but imagine if you were anesthetized and you knew someone was cutting on you. You know that feeling that, like, oh, God,
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
creep
yeah.
you the hell
Your
out.
teeth-
Well, I just couldn't tell what he was doing
Sure.
with my balls, and I said, just be much harder, much rougher. I can take it, because right now I can't feel anything, and you could be down there. You could be down there sucking them or putting a power drill in them. I just don't know.
You could look.
Yeah.
You could look.
No, they put that big sheet up right in the middle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Can't see anything.
Yeah, they put that sheet up around. You know, they cut that hole in that sheet and drop it down to your waist and
like
take
a
your
tutu.
pants off, and then the whole room. They have. Well, I don't know what
It's
your
the operating theater. The
It's
operating
you
theater.
know the operating theater where they build the sub level, like when they shoot a Muppets film. So the floor drops down about 3 feet. At waist height in the room, at banister level, is just a sheet that fills the entire room except for where it goes around your waist.
And you feel like you're in a room by yourself.
Yeah, and the doctors and the nurses are walking down on the subfloor beneath you while you stand on a small 2x2 plinth. And just because of my thick skin, you know, when they're touching my balls, it's like ghosts down there.
You just like sense that they're being touched, but
You feel sort of the tug. Again, I don't know if you've had anesthesia before, but you feel a kind of tug, and it's deeply unpleasant.
You think they teach them how to touch you a little rougher in medical school? Because I've had a similar experience where I felt the doctor was being a little too rough, and I had to kept saying,
Really?
"Please be softer. Please be
too
softer."
rough.
Yeah, he was being too rough, handling me too much.
I
didn't
don't
like
know
it.
the concept, but I can imagine.
No, I feel I have a gentle composition, I guess. And
You look gentle.
yeah, I have very soft hands, and I couldn't stand it. You know, I might be a kind of antithesis to you, Buzz. I have very, very soft
I
features.
feel like
and-
Buzz
Blue
hugged
Wayne.
you right now. He would go through you like a
Marshmallow.
like a truck through a marshmallow.
Yeah. That's people have said that about me.
Rip right through you.
But I didn't like the way the doctor was touching me, and I felt his bedside manner. He had no ability to turn down the roughness of his touching, and I just feel like that's another thing they're missing out in medical school.
Yeah, I think you, folks, you can always report a doctor.
www doctor
Doctor Bad.
doctor report bad.
Doctor Report Bad. Also,
Com.
I don't know if you know this, but go ahead and any mailbox, any USPS mailbox, if you whisper into it, you can communicate directly with the government that way.
That's true. They have microphones in all of them.
Every United States Postal Service mailbox has a microphone in it.
And they're listening constantly.
Mm-hmm. There's a server farm out in Greater Utah where...
Greater Utah?
Yeah, Greater Utah.
I thought you said Crater, Utah.
No, Greater Utah.
That's the one right above Utah?
Yeah, the bigger Utah above Utah.
The one floating
Greater
in
Utah and
there.
Lesser Utah, which is normally just called Utah. Anything goes in Greater Utah. Founded by a series of pole dancers in the 19 teens.
19 teens.
Yeah, who just wanted to dance and be free and explore their art. And they do.
In Greater Utah.
Most of the world's great pole dancers come out of Greater Utah.
That's why Utah's so shady.
The land of 10,000 poles.
Very little else comes out of Greater Utah, right? They have pretty strict borders around the...
Oh, yeah.
Besides pole dancing.
You basically can't get in there without... At every border, there is a pole, and your passport into Greater Utah is you have to do a little pole dance, prove that you are a pole dancer. That's the only nationality that they that they actually recognize, right? Because you can't fake that. There's no such thing. You can fake any kind of ID except for a skill, right? Because once you possess it, it's no longer fake. Think about that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If your citizenship is based upon possession of a skill, if I said, hey, the only people who can come into my nation are people who can hold their breath for 3 minutes or more, well, you gonna fake that? No, you can't fake that passport.
And they have an entire strip economy. You strip off a piece of clothing to buy anything.
Yeah.
So you take your shirt off, you can get groceries, but eventually you're naked and then you have to leave.
But then do you work for the clothing back?
No, you got to go.
Huh.
Come in with the clothes.
Simpler time.
Yeah, well, you go to work and you strip.
Well, you get a strip.
Yeah.
And people throw their clothes at you because you're stripping.
Right, because it's a strip economy.
You put the clothes on.
Yeah, I've always heard
You leave.
things about Greater Utah, but I'm terrified to go there and do a tourist
Well, you
occasion
bring a lot
because
of-
I got no
Just
coordination.
wear a lot of clothes. You can't bring in any luggage, but you got to wear all your clothes. So just wear a lot of layers. You can have a great time if you wear like 6-7 shirts and a couple coats and 5 or 6 pants. You can have a great
Have
time.
you ever been to Greater Utah?
I do a lot of the internet there.
Just a lot of internet search on that.
I can't go anywhere.
I've never left Bristleburg, but I don't know what's going on today.
No, I've never.
I told you something's going on with you. It's not just the
no, it's
toes.
fine.
It's not just the toes.
It's just the toes.
What is
Can't
it?
visit a doctor though.
What's going on?
You know what? I don't think we have time to get into it. Actually, we're
certainly
just rounding out to the end of the show right now. Thanks for bringing that up,
Yeah,
Megalito. I would have loved to talk about what's going on with me, but unfortunately, we're out of time.
Stop hiding it.
We've had a great time. Peter Potato, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Keep an
there-
eye out for Doggy Dog.
I had a question
Yeah,
about the
doggy
name.
dog.
Or doggy
Is-
bag.
Is Potato a given name, or is that did you come up with that?
I-
Because you restaurant.
It was a gimmick. It was a gimmick for a carb restaurant. Yeah, we were doing all carbs.
And you changed your
And
name.
I changed my name, and the city finally came down on me. They said you can't keep changing your name for every one of these
You were
restaurants.
doing
And
it every time.
I got stuck with Potato. I wouldn't have minded Crab Legs. That was the one right before, but
I like that. Yeah.
they don't let me.
Peter Crab Legs.
I thought it was more fun. Yeah.
That is.
No, that's definitely more fun than potato. And
My kids like
I mean,
that
no
one.
offense.
No, I know. My kids
Potato's
like
a
that
problem.
a lot. The kids are real mixed up because they were named after each time I changed my name. Maybe I had a kid between name changes.
So what are
and-
your kids' names?
God, I don't know. I just remember the last names. I know one of them is stuck with Potato. Another one's
That's-
stuck with the Crab Legs. I got one. Kimchi was definitely in there. And I think 2 of them were named after different milkshakes, but I don't really remember which ones.
Yeah, like a malt.
Yeah, one was a malt, one was like some kind of grasshopper, I think.
It's amazing.
Well, I love that. Well, we're all going to look out for those new restaurants, and I hope to be your first guest and come back on here and give a great review.
Do a segment.
Yeah, and we'll
Yeah,
have
give
you,
us an ad. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
I'll,
what?
I'll
Maybe we'll
pitch-
have you
pitch for
on
that.
again to do a little cooking segment.
Yeah, please. I brought all this stuff. I'm sorry I brought all this food. I
Oh
just
my
didn't know how
God.
to-
Oh yeah,
I didn't really know how to bring it up, but
Leave
I,
it. Just leave it. I'll eat it.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
I haven't
Yeah,
eaten.
yeah,
I haven't eaten in a dog's
that
age.
saves me from.
I realized a lot of it's uncooked when I came in here, and I
That's
didn't
fine.
think you guys
That's
had a
fine.
kitchen.
He,
I gotta
he
s-
survives mostly on rat blood.
I guess this is-
Megalito. Any final thoughts there?
I wish I could go out to a restaurant. I wish I could eat normal food.
Yeah.
I wish Buzz would stop creating a reality that is false, but also somewhat true, and it's hard to discern the two.
Yeah.
And that's all.
One day, buddy. One day. Hey, you ever considered this? All these people that I bring in here, they're not real.
We disappear when we walk out the door.
No, I just mean like they're
Yeah.
not. They're not who they say they are.
Yeah.
What?
Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you. Anyway, folks, QRZR, the Razor's Edge. Thanks for tuning into another great show. I'm Buzz Thunderknuckle, and remember this: stop lying to yourself. You know who you are.
Time to cut the bullshit.